Could Be Worse by James Stevenson. At Grandpa's house, things were always the same. Grandpa always had the same thing for breakfast. Every day he read the paper. And he always said the same thing. Could be worse. Grandpa, that awful dog ate this sofa cushion. Could be worse. No matter what. I got a splinter in my finger, Grandpa. Could be worse. My bike has a flat and my sneakers have a hole and I lost my kite in a tree, Grandpa. Could be worse. One day Marianne said, "How come Grandpa never says anything interesting?" "I guess it's because nothing interesting happens to him," said Louie. Next morning at breakfast, Grandpa said something different. He said, "Guess what? Last night, when I was asleep, a large bird pulled me out of bed and took me for a long ride and dropped me in the mountains. I heard a noise. It was an abominable snowman with a huge snowball, which he threw at me. I got stuck inside the snowball, which rolled down the mountain. It finally landed on the desert and began to melt. I walked across the desert. Suddenly, I heard footsteps coming nearer and nearer. A moment later, I got squished by a giant something or other. Before I could get up, I heard a strange noise. Squoosh, squoosh. A great blob of marmalade was coming toward me. It chased me across the desert until I crashed into something tall. It was sort of like an ostrich and very cross. It gave me a big kick. I went into some storm clouds, almost got hit by lightning, fell out of the clouds, and landed in an ocean. I sank down about a mile to the bottom. I saw an enormous goldfish coming at me. I swam away as fast as I could and hid under a cup that had air in it. When it was safe, I crawled out. I started to walk, but my foot got stuck in the grip of a gigantic lobster. I didn't know what to do, but just then a big squid came along and squirted black ink all over the lobster. I escaped and hitched a ride on a sea turtle that was going to the top for a bit of sunshine. I was fortunate to find a piece of toast floating by and rowed to shore, where I discovered a newspaper. I quickly folded it into an airplane and flew across the sea and back home to bed. Now, what do you think of that? Could be worse.
Thanks for listening to Storytime with Amy.